Rusame reader, Rusame, and today I will be reading to you from Desert Road by Doomsday Phoenix. Now, on to Chapter 6. The next morning, America was the first one to wake up. He yawned and stretched and slowly climbed out of bed. Then he made his way over to the kitchen area to brew himself a cup of coffee. As he loaded up the coffee maker and turned it on, the sound of it was enough to wake Russia. The country swung his legs over the bedside and hopped off. America glanced at him. "Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, did I wake you up?" No, I mean, you did, but I don't care." Russia laughed and walked over. "I'm surprised you're up before me. You were out like a light before I got the chance to park." "I was?" America seemed confused. It suddenly occurred to him that he must have passed out in the seat. "I had to carry you to bed." Russia seemed to faintly fluster. America fiddled with his hands. "Sorry you had to do that. I'm, not the lightest thing in the world." He laughed sheepishly. Russia shrugged. "It wasn't that bad. I could do it again," he said proudly, then quickly added, but obviously I don't have to. I'm not saying I need to, either." America couldn't help but laugh despite the awkwardness. "I don't doubt your abilities, Russ. Even I know you're extremely strong." "Why, thank you." The bigger country smirked. "You're not too bad yourself." "I mean, I guess." America seemed to grow a bit flustered himself at the compliment. Anyway, the coffee's done. Do you want any?" "Yes, please." Russia smiled and nodded, then walked over to grab 2 mugs from the cabinet, one for him and one for his friend. America started to pour the hot beverage into both mugs. Once he was done, he handed a mug to his friend, who took it happily. "Cheers." Russia smiled more and held his mug to America's. "Oh, cheers." America laughed. Clink. They both took a sip, careful not to burn themselves. America walked to the front of the van and took the sunshade down off the window, rolling it up and sticking it in an overhead compartment. "I think we might reach the desert soon. We're close to the Mexican border," he mused. "The Southwest is beautiful. I can't wait to show you." "I can't wait to see it." Russia grinned as he sat in the passenger seat. "Although I think I might be very well out of my element," he added jokingly. America snickered. "Don't worry, we have plenty of water with us. If you ever get hot, let me know," America reassured his friend, and gulped down the rest of his coffee, not wanting a repeat of yesterday. Then he hopped into the driver's seat and turned on the camper. He checked the digital compass. They were facing north. America maneuvered the vehicle out of the roadside parking space and back into the road itself. He found the highway once more and got onto it. "What's it like in the desert?" Russia asked. "I've seen plenty of pictures of the deserts you have here, but I want you to describe it for me." "Well, firstly," America started, "the deserts in Arizona have to be my favorite. Arizona herself brags about it a lot, and some of the other western states often butts head about it. But secretly, Arizona's deserts are my favorite. You've seen pictures of the Grand Canyon, right?" Russia nodded. "Is that where we're going?" "We can go if you like." America grinned. "I was about to describe how vibrant the rocks are and how massive the canyon itself is. All throughout the desert, there's giant cactuses and rolling sand dunes. There are majestic rock formations besides the canyon. The wildlife there is neat, too. But my favorite part of all of it has to be the sunsets. Desert sunsets have always been my favorite." "Huh." Russia, who has been listening intently, took a moment to soak everything his friend had said in. Disregarding the photos I've seen of it, it sounds quite nice. Thanks. I'm not exactly the best at describing things, but if it was good enough for you, then I suppose it doesn't matter. You'll always be good enough for me, Russia said without thinking. America felt his heart skip a beat. That's nice to hear, and he searched for something to say in return. I suppose the feeling is mutual. Only for a brief moment, he looked away from the road to smile at Russia. He smiled back before his friend looked back at the road. Hey, maybe we can find a nice spot and watch the sunset, he suggested. I'd like that. America smiled more, already imagining what it would be like, just the two of them watching a sunset. Wait, that sounds like a scene from a cliché romance movie, America thought, and held back a nervous laugh. Russia spotted a sign off the side of the highway. It read, Welcome to New Mexico, the land of enchantment. America saw it too. We're one state away. The smaller country sounded excited, which made Russia grin. What's your favorite state? He asked suddenly. Are you kidding me? That's like asking me to pick a favorite kid. America laughed, then paused. Wait, that's basically what it is. Anyway, I think it's impossible to decide. Lots of people would expect me to say California, New York, or Florida, but it's not as simple as that. I mean, sure, those are all nice states, but all the others are good too, each in their own unique ways. He sighed. Sometimes some of my states get really down about not being important or as popular in terms of tourism or other things like that. Luckily, my states are good sports, and they're always there to pick each other up when they're sad. Sounds like you raised them well, Russia nodded. Sometimes I think that, and sometimes I think I could have done better. My territories, for example, I can't really visit them as much as I want to. They don't live with you? No, they live in their own separate house with a bunch of other small Pacific and Atlantic territories and countries, like Palau, Micronesia, and all of those guys. Oh, I see. Russia nodded. There's like 50 of them. The house is plenty big, don't worry, but they described it as being similar to my household. America chuckled. Whoa. Russia seemed surprised. And how often do they visit? My territories? Once or twice a month, at least. I just think that I could go visit them every once in a while. You could after we return, Russia suggested. I'm sure they'd appreciate the visit. I think they would, America mused. I'll keep it in mind. The pair of nations fell silent for a while. The highway, Russia noticed, was mostly empty. It made sense, considering that they sat on the cusp of a vast desert. Trees were scarce, and the landscape that surrounded them was mostly flat, save for a few mountains in the distance. How long will it take us to get to the Grand Canyon? I don't want to say. America trailed off. 7 hours, give or take? Of course, we can always stop at, the halfway mark, which would probably be out past Albuquerque. Whatever works for you, Russia chuckled and shrugged. As long as I keep seeing this beautiful countryside, I could care less where we go. Well, America smiled warmly. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. How can I not? He grinned. You're good company, May. I'm relieved I'm not boring. The nation felt warm. Russia shook his head, amused. Then he glanced out the window and began to think. America was thinking, too. Russia sure likes to compliment me. He's a really good friend, but the compliments seem kind of romantic? Or is it just me? And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will see you tomorrow.